Hi, I'm Josephine Santi. I'm your kid's Italian teacher for Italian 2. And I was going to quickly introduce myself a little bit and then tell you about this course. My students probably have seen me with the mask on. I did a couple of videos so they're able to see me without the mask, but most of the time it is with my mask on. So it's nice to be able to have a video without the mask. And it's funny too because I don't really see the students' faces too much. So every time when they're taking their little mask break, I'm like, oh, that's what they look like. And what a bunch of beautiful, nice kids you all have. So for Italian 2, this is either a continuation of Italian 1 or this is a brand new class for them. It is on a faster pace than what Italian 1 would be, but it actually is beginning Italian, Italian 1 and Italian 2 combined. The reason being is because many of the students are double language students coming from Spanish or French. And because they're both Romance languages, it's very easy and quick for them to pick up. I'm actually a Spanish and Italian teacher at the high school, which is even more an advantage because I'm able to help them. I'm able to show connections if there's any words that are similar, and I'm able to understand where they might get a little bit confused or be tricked with both of the languages. I'm also really impressed if they are a double language student. So if there's any Spanish in their Italian essays, it's not the end of the world. I'll help them out, and they know that. A little bit about myself. I was born here, but I grew up going back and forth to Italy a lot throughout the years. I studied abroad and lived there for almost 6 to 7 years. I ended up meeting my husband there, brought him back home here, and we live here with two beautiful kids. And I love and am passionate about the Italian language and culture, so I'd love to share that with the students. Um, it's a little bit of a unique situation this year, and I'm sure you guys are hearing this all across the board. So we are trying our best all together with trying to learn the language and speak it as much as we can, but it's obviously going to be a little bit difficult with the mask on. I have been having students videotape themselves using Flipgrid. I showed them ways if they didn't feel comfortable showing their face, how they can pixelate it or cover it. So I'm really just hearing their voice. Their videos won't be shared. It's just me hearing what they know in Italian and being able to speak it to the best that they can. So that's what we've been working on. It's very hard to find this balance. Students are, a little bit more anxious than normal, might not feel 100% comfortable in class. So, as a teacher, I have to find this balance of they need to learn and they need to grow with what they've been learning in school, but at the same time, be understanding of how they're feeling. So, again, and you have to, I hope you guys understand on my end as well, that it is this difficult balance that we're finding. I don't have 2019 goals. Neither should you, to be honest, because we don't have everything from 2019 that we could give the students in order to excel. One of my biggest goals, and always has been a goal, was to make the students become comfortable in learning. And that goal is probably more important than ever, especially now, because I feel like they need that goal. In order for learning really to occur, they need to be open. They need to feel as if they're comfortable and not anxious in class. So if you ever catch a video of me, I'm probably jumping, singing, dancing, or whatever I can do just to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. I put myself out on videos. I know we all hate our voices on videos, including me right now. But again, I'm doing that to show them that if I'm doing it, it's something that they could do as well. And again, it's a unique situation, so I understand that on their end. I am being a little bit more lenient towards the beginning of the year because we had just till March, since March, to start all of this technology, and some of the students still don't feel as comfortable with it. So I have been accepting things late. However, again, there's this fine line of when are you going to make the students become more responsible and make sure that things are handed in time. So that eventually will get turned over where students are going to be expected to hand in something when it is due and it won't be accepted late. There, of course, have been problems with technology, as we can all expect. I'm sure in your workplace as well, you all had some issues with technology up here. I'm definitely understanding of that. Coincidentally, their mic breaks when it's their turn to talk. Again, it's something I can't force, but I do expect them at home to participate as much as they would participate in class. In fact, I'm very interactive with the students at home. I do try to call on as many of the students and give them the opportunity to type in their answer or to unmute themselves, and it's that their comfort level. Um, but again, those fully virtual students, it is a language class, so eventually I would probably just push for them to hear more of their language while they're speaking and while they're at home. So that's something that's going on. Again, it's their comfort level. I can't force someone to turn on their video if they don't feel comfortable with it. But at the same time, there's this line with, well, are the students participating? Are they active? So I, again, am going between, well, where's the comfort line for the student? And then how do I know that they are actually interacting and paying attention in class? So again, this is all new because if we were in class, I could see someone putting down their head. But at home, since it's a little bit of a delicate situation, that's where they have to really make sure that they are intrinsically motivated, that they are willing to stay there and pay attention in class. I did warn them as well. Extra help is offered Wednesday mornings at 6:45, but not for them just not paying attention at home. It has to be something that maybe they've tried to understand, and either I went through it faster for them or in a way that wasn't their learning style. That's then something that they could come to extra help. But if they just aren't, paying attention at home and watching TV instead, well, that's not really an extra help situation. So that again is something that they have to understand. They have to understand that when they're at home, they are expected to keep up with the students that are in class. In the future, I might ask them to do some type of participation points to make sure that they are participating. But again, it's a difficult and delicate situation because I know we don't have the Chromebooks out, so I don't know everyone's access to technology at this point. I am a very fair and understanding teacher, and I'm sure you guys have understood that as well from what I was saying. But I do expect them to push themselves. So again, that's something that I want to make sure that they do. The thing is, too, is we do have quizzes and we do have different types of assessment. It's not going to be the more traditional paper to assessments yet because some of the students are in class, some of the students are at home, and at the same time, some of the students are fully virtual. So it's very difficult to get a fair assessment all across. So I found some different platforms that the students could use that would give me the fairest assessment and at the same time try to hold the students accountable of their learning, which is what we ultimately want to do. So for Italian 2, we're learning lots of new expressions. We've learned classroom expressions. We've learned the alphabet, numbers. It is on a faster pace. But, and I always warn the students this, even if it is a faster pace, it doesn't mean that I'm expecting them to know everything that we've been going over. Because if they've seen their assessments, it's on a smaller scale. Some of your students are amazingly bright and want to learn and will probably skip some levels in the future of Italian and possibly even go to college Italian and college Spanish by the time that they're a senior. We've had a lot of students do that. So I'm giving them kind of that push for them to be able to skip ahead. That's why it might seem like it's a little bit fast. But some students are, they're content with remaining at this level and just want to try their best with this. So again, the assessment and the tests are where I'll differentiate a little bit less and make sure that it's on an easier scale for what I'm expecting for them at this level. A lot of the students have been doing phenomenally well. They're speaking. I've had a couple of examples of speaking, and again, I'm so impressed with them. Right now, I just want to show you what their classroom looks like. And we are in, these are all of my different classrooms that I'm a part of. So here it is for Italian 2. And this is the stream. So I'll put a little announcements here. I just did a class interaction with them for one of the questions. It said pick one question to answer and write the number and answer the question. So a lot of them did a beautiful job in this. And this is where I have them participate. I might post something like we did another activity together where we were all working on. I had them do a Jamboard where they were writing down the famous person's birthday. So again, this is where it's a little bit more interactive with the whole class. Under classwork, that's where they'll have their individual grades. I tried to make it as clear cut as I could for the students. We do have something called a virtual classroom. It's something that provides a lot of links to the students. There's the best Bitmoji I could find of myself. Links to Duolingo that eventually they're going to get their access to. And that's another great key for them to be able to practice and study the language on their own. We have a link over here for them to listen to the song of the week that I upload. I might link the work for today, not all of the time. Sometimes I just have it on the classwork. I do have the unit that we're on. So we're on unit 1, Chi sono io. I have games that they could play on their own time, a link to word reference because we do not like to use Google Translate, and a couple of other little things that I'd ask them about in this classroom. So this is kind of a platform where they could access the different sites if they needed to. But I'm going to go down to classroom resources. So this doesn't change. And this doesn't really have anything that they need to hand in. This is more a reference for them. For example, I actually included a video of me explaining the months and the years and the days in Italian for them to listen to, because sometimes it's hard for them to listen in class if I have a mask on. So this gives them the correct pronunciation. Vocab sheets are listed here, a reference and grammar guide that has all of the Italian grammar that they would need, and I have a website as well too that they can click on that tells a little bit about myself, and I encourage you as well to click on that. And also course syllabus. They were supposed to show you the syllabus. I did not give them zeros yet if they didn't hand this in, so I'm kind of keeping this open. But if you click on this, there is a form that you're going to click on to acknowledge that you read exactly what I'm expecting from Italian 2. So again, this goes over what they need, the procedures, the course, and the classroom participation, and then my email, which is going to be important if you ever have any questions. It's probably the easiest way to get in touch with me. With phones, it's usually phone tag because you called me through the office and then I call you back. So I feel like the email is a little bit easier to get in contact with. And then for your students as well, I noticed some of them write directly comments underneath their assignments. Please remind them, I can't see the comments lots of times. So for them too, if they ever have a question, please email me. And please remind them how to email, because it's so funny how things change in just a couple of years, because they're so used to texting and using social media apps that they don't really know how to email. So sometimes I get the whole entire body of what should be in the letter in the subject line. So again, just remind them a little bit of how to, write a proper email. They can click here, and this just shows me that you've read the syllabus and understand what's expected of this class. What I'm going to show you, what we're doing is if they have ever homework, it's going to be under here. I've been a little bit lenient, but they might be having homework soon. And the classwork, what I'm grading is going to be here. So these are activities we've done in class. Again, to hold the students accountable at home, I have them also sometimes hand in the assignments. So at least I know that they're working on it. Here are the 2 quiz assignments we've done already. A Flipgrid, that's that video where they were telling themselves about themselves. And so far they're working on this, our weather forecast. So they're going to become their own little Italian weather person and tell us what the weather is like in Italy and in Italian. So that's it. I'm Italian. I talk a lot. I'm surprised I didn't use my hands more than what I did for this presentation. But if you have ever any questions, please email me at gsanti@ccsdli.org. I really miss having these in person because it's great to see parents and then picture where their students were sitting, and now the parents are sitting there. But again, we make the best of whatever we have in front of us and with what we are going through right now. And that's, again, the most important thing. So thank you so much. Buonanotte or buongiorno, depending on when you're seeing this. And again, you can contact me if you have any questions. Ciao.